Welcome back. If you fast forwarded past our interview, shame on you. Because I thought it was good.
We had a good time.
And we enjoy Cameron. So, Cameron, if you do listen to our podcast, thank you for coming on. If you don't listen to our podcast, shame on you. But you wouldn't know that because you're not listening.
So. Yeah. Shame on you twice.
So, we're going to start with good news, and then we'll probably end up with bad news, which I don't know why we thought this would be a good idea, but here we go. And this one's going to be a curveball for you. Are you aware of the SpongeBob debacles that's going on now?
No.
No.
Right. What is the SpongeBob debacles?
SpongeBob debacles. So, Nickelodeon came out and said SpongeBob is actually a member of the LGBTQ.
Oh, he's a gay sponge.
Plus.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of people were trying to think why he's a sponge. One of those people was what's his name? I'm pulling it up here. Damon Arnett. He's a rookie for the new team, Las Vegas Raiders.
It just sounds so wrong.
It's wrong. It's
so
terrible.
Wrong.
Yep. But he kind of took exception to that. In some tweets, he said, "So now SpongeBob is gay. LOL. 2020 doing so many people wrong. He a sponge. They trying to expose these kids to everything too early." So,
well, I mean, not wrong.
And he also said, thing I can't say.
I ain't gay.
I ain't gay.
That's funny.
So I thought this was funny. Like he pointed out exactly everything I was thinking of why. And to add to this, I don't think it's on here, but the creators of SpongeBob responded to it. And they said, well, he's asexual, and it doesn't really matter for the show. It's not part of the show.
He's a sponge.
That's exactly what... Sorry, I forget his name. Damon Arnett. That's exactly what he's saying. But so I saw their response. I saw the creator's response of, well, he's asexual, and it's not really matter or part of the show. I'm sitting there thinking, then why do you say it? If it's not important or doesn't matter, then why do you say it?
You shouldn't. Saying if it's not important, doesn't matter, then it shouldn't be said.
And then I saw a meme of from SpongeBob, a 2-panel meme. First panel is the reporter talking to Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob, and the reporter, Mr. Krabs has Nickelodeon plastered across him. The reporter asks him, "So why did you decide to make SpongeBob part of the LGBTQ community?" Patrick leans into the mic. Money!
That's funny. That sounds about right.
So, yeah.
Speaking of movie places making awful choices, so Artemis Fowl came out on Disney Plus this week.
Box office success, I'm sure.
Oh, dude. I'm a little bit disgusted in the fact that I finished watching it.
It's like a train wreck you had to see.
It really is. I was like me and my wife, 5 minutes into the movie, we were like, this is awful. This is terrible. And we repeated that 50 times throughout the movie. We're sitting there watching this going, this is just
one of those
bad.
movies where you watch it with your mouth open.
Yeah, seriously, it's that bad. You're just like, I feel like I should film this and release it on the news network so that we can start another riot for something that matters, because this is just wow, elf lives matter, man. What is this?
So I have a very important question to ask to follow up on that.
Oh, okay.
Audience, pay close attention. Was it better or worse than whatever that movie was with Whoopi Goldberg, whatever the time travel one was?
Oh, Wrinkle in Time.
Wrinkle in
is the one
Time.
you're
Was
thinking
it
of.
better or
it
worse?
was worse by far. I can stand to watch A Wrinkle in Time. If a kid has A Wrinkle in Time on, I don't care. Background noise, whatever. Artemis Fowl is blood curdling. It is so
insulting
bad
to the ears.
Like it's not just that they butchered the book, which they did. They butchered it. It was bad. It was bad. I mean, I understand wanting to be diverse and whatever, but so one of the key parts of the story from the book is the fact that Holly Short, the main little elf chick, is the first female to make it into Leprechaun, right?
All right.
So not only is in this movie she's not the first female to make it into Leprechaun, but they gender swapped her captain. So Root, Captain Root is now, or Commander Root is now female.
Well, because you need
Played-
to have strong
played by
female
M,
characters.
You know, which I love the lady that played M in 007.
Uh-huh.
Love her. She's great. But she's not that character. She's not Commander Root. She can't be Commander Root. She doesn't fit, like the personality doesn't fit.
So why do you hate women?
Yeah, I don't. And that's the point. Like they took away everything that made Holly Short lovable in the movie.
Let me guess,
Like-
you didn't like Captain America or Captain Marvel.
No, I
either.
loved Captain America. I did actually hate Captain Marvel. That was an awful show.
Women hater.
Whatever. but no, like they butchered they literally took like 3 scenes from the actual book and put them in the movie, and that's it. Mm-hmm. And then everything else they just ran rampant with just
So they did the
awful ideas.
They did the opposite of The Hobbit.
Pretty much exactly what they did. I mean, Disney should be ashamed that their name is even on this movie because it was bad. And and this was the point I was getting to is not even because of the gender swapping, not even because of the butchering of the book, but like the script was poorly written. There's literally a scene where Artemis walks in and Holly Short is in his little prison cell in his house, and he walks in and she is mad at him and she is gonna break out and destroy this kid and whatever, and he thinks he's so smart and he thinks he's gonna win, and he walks up and unlocks the door and takes off his glasses, and suddenly they're friends. This is how bad this movie is.
Well,
Literally,
there's just
she
so
goes.
much there. They had to condense things.
She goes. I mean, it is like flipping a switch. She literally like it's that quick. It is. You think you're gonna win? Oh, we're friends now. What? Where'd the rest of the movie go? I missed. There had to be like an hour in there somewhere where interaction happened. Right. No. There's no interaction at all. There's no character building. There's nothing.
This makes the live-action Avatar sound good.
Oh.
No, not the blue people Avatar.
No, I know what you mean. I didn't like either one.
But not understand. Not the blue people Avatar.
He's talking about the last Airbender live-action movie, which was atrocious and is still better than Artemis Fowl.
Twilight is a better love story than Artemis Fowl.
It is. It is. Okay, I get off my soapbox about art. It was a bad movie. Don't watch it. I suffered the torture so that you don't have to.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Taking one for the team.
What would we do without you?
All my... what are we going to call our fan base here? Is it the apples? The nudists? What Which way are we going with this?
The nudist. I think that one's already taken. Naked bushels.
The naked bushels. Our bushels of nudity.
I like all of that.
Oh, man.
Give me what I want to hear.
Give me what I want to hear.
I'm trying to find the right video.
Very
clip.
pretty, too.
Thank you. That's exactly what I wanted.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
Let's see. So, speaking of plot lines gone wrong,
That is like the story of 2020.
yeah. I should have, if I was wise, I would have double checked this before I actually pull it up. But,
I would be in the same.
Oh.
You want the big?
There we go. Okay. Darn you. If I do this correctly. So this came out on the Twitters. This lady here decided to give a lesson to these people here. A little lesson about Black history.
Oh. Now, a question though: is this real Black history, or is this the?
This is what she was indoctrinated with.
Oh, it's the
Black
indoctrination
history.
Black. Okay.
Right,
I
but
just had to make sure which one we were going to be listening
credit to these guys for not telling her to stop talking and actually just sitting and listening to her. And also, I'm starting to make it a personal goal to not say black person, white person anymore, because I'm sick of saying black person, white person for the last week and a half.
Yeah.
So
It's been said more in the last 2-3 weeks than my entire life ever.
this lady is awesome. These people need to learn what she's hearing. That's how that should be said. It shouldn't be this black lady talks to white. No. This lady, she's just as much a lady as any of these other
Ladies.
I presume lady. Probably not. Who am I to judge? But yeah.
Couldn't be. I don't know.
So a couple of little clips here, and yeah, she gives them a little bit of a lesson. Let's see here.
All right, let's hear it.
You want the
Let's hear this
benefit
lesson.
of Christ, but you don't want Christ. You gotta accept Christ and all of his benefits, not just his benefits without him. There's no Allah, there's no Muhammad, there's no Buddha, there's Jesus. He's the one who died, he's the one who has keys to heaven. If you want to get into heaven, and if you want to walk and live on earth as it is in heaven, you have to accept Jesus Christ. He is the only way. Other than that, you will be chasing your tail. You will be chasing your tail.
I just got one question. I heard you say Jesus is the one and only way, right? Or at least the solution. I want to
He's
quote
the
you.
solution, and he's the only way
Okay,
to
so
the
when is
Father.
the answer? How long y'all been waiting on Jesus?
All right, so that's not exactly what I thought it was, but I thought it was still good. This one, I think.
I would be in the same position.
There we go.
you're in, so I'm not
There.
even mad at you, baby. I'm feeling like
news because it's all.
fake news. This is the thing. I know people don't like Trump. I understand that. But let me tell you something. If I had to pick between him and Joe Biden, I'm not voting in Joe Biden. You want to see a bunch of black people go to jail by the next 4 years? Put Joe Biden in.
According to Biden, she's
You
not
want to see
black.
black men get killed substantially? Like you've never seen before? Put Joe Biden in and watch what happens. These Democrats, and I'm sorry to say this, I'm not trying to be racist, but they hate black people. These are the same people who fought to keep slavery in. These are the same people who built the KKK. These are the same people who hated us from the beginning. The Republican Party is the party of the blacks. The Republican Party is the only party that the black people actually assisted in finding. But all of that history has been torn away. People say, oh, there was this big switch. There was never a big switch. The Union won because we had grown in the industrial era. So we were able to get trains and get supplies supplies back to our soldiers while the Confederate was still riding horses. They were not able to get the supplies back fast enough, right? So what happened was once slavery was abolished in the South, the people in the South could no longer make their money from slaves. They had to move to the North to work in the industry to produce. And so the people in the North that already had established themselves in the industry moved to the South. And so that's where it was a transfer of people coming from the South to the North and people coming from the North to the South. There was never a big switch. So the same Democrats who hated black people from the beginning are the same ones who hate us now. And they use our cause. How did Black Lives Matter turn into something about LGBTQ? When blacks really don't support that. We're conservative. We really not about that. Not only that, we don't support abortion. We about working. This is a black culture. We ain't never been about that. Not only that, we not about feminism. No, we're not. Black women marry their husbands and respect their husbands. That's what we on. We not on this, I do what I want. We don't do that. That's not our community. And you would understand. I know you understand what I'm saying. Come on. We don't do that. But yet these people are hijacking our movement. The Democratic Party, they're trying to hijack our stuff. No.
Oof.
She,
Oof. To add to her point there, of if you want more of this, elect Joe Biden as president. So I'm trying to find a full list of this because I don't have everything. But the first thing I pulled up on Wikipedia came up on Wikipedia. I was trying to find how long politicians have been in office, specifically Senate and Congress. Current politicians. This Wikipedia list is like all of them ever, I think.
Is it organized by longest to shortest, or?
It is.
Oh, that's good.
Who's
been in the longest?
The top 10. This is again. This is they've died, and this is total
of all time.
Yeah, total of all time.
Okay.
The top 10 party affiliation, Democratic, and total tenure. The lowest of those top 10, 48 years. The highest, 59 years, 21 days. One of them probably would have kept, a couple of them probably would have kept going, but they died while they were in office.
I think I just threw up in my mouth a little.
Yeah.
That was...
And then number 11.
And now I understand. I understand exactly.
Right.
I get it.
And then number 11 on this list at 47 years, 159 days, was Strom Thurmond. He started Democratic and then switched to Republican. So that's your first Republican on the list. And then number 12 was a Republican at 47 years, and it goes on, mixing back and forth between Democrat and Republican.
Remind me again, why didn't we have term limits on Congress to begin with?
People were supposed to be intelligent enough to,
Vote them
not
out?
have kingships of sorts in politics, but, whatever.
Well, that ship sailed.
So what got me started on this, Dianne Feinstein, if you had to guess her total government service, how long has she been involved with government?
Well, she's like 97 years old, so I'd say in the mid-40s.
Ooh, really close. 60 years
Oh, yeah.
of government service.
Really close.
Government service. I'll look up her net worth. See if you can find what her net worth is. See how wealthy you can get from
Feinstein
serving in the government.
worth. Oh, whoa! Really? 90 million.
Is that all?
That's what it says.
That's
as
all.
of June,
As of June,
90 million.
after 60 years of government service.
Isn't government service supposed to be like just a living wage? Isn't that? thing.
Huh.
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 How do you make that much money on a living wage? Just curious.
As not a politician? Or
No. I mean, as a public servant.
As a public servant?
Yes,
serves,
as a public servant,
who
how do
does
you make that
service
much money
for their
on a
country?
living wage?
Well, I mean, you write books.
Curious. Oh, I guess okay. Yeah,
You
I
might
see
do
that.
a book tour.
Main source of her wealth is Bloom Capital, a company founded in 1975 by her husband.
Oh, interesting. Huh.
Wonder what that does.
I wonder. Huh. And I'm sure that's not the end of her service either.
Right.
Next on this little list I have, coming in at number 2, Patrick Leahy. He's right behind Dianne Feinstein with 54 years of government service.
How do you spell his last name?
Leahy.
There we go. Ouch. 80 years old, huh?
Yeah. What's his net worth?
I don't know. It won't tell me.
Oh.
Oh. Nope.
Nope,
It
nothing.
won't tell me.
All
Let
right.
me see. Actually, if I click the link, maybe it'll tell me if I click the link.
Link.
He's 6'2". That's not what I was asking you, Google. Why are you telling me things I didn't ask you, Google? His net worth is somewhere between 100,000 and 1 million. They don't actually know.
So he's probably actually got that legitimately. He hasn't done all the book deals.
Oh, this one states very specifically it is $129,503.50.
They got down to the quarters.
They did. Getting in the brass tacks.
Next on this list is presidential hopeful Joe Biden.
Ooh, this one will be fun.
How many years do you think
Well,
of total government service?
let's see.
54 was Leahy.
Leahy, so I'd say, 52?
Ooh, 51.
Dang, so close.
So close. His
So
net
close.
worth currently?
Well, he owns 2 Delaware homes valued at $4 million.
Uh-huh.
It says about 9.
About 9.
About 9
About 9.
million. Which is, only 10% of Feinstein's
Right.
net worth.
So Joe Biden's net worth is about 9, give or take dealings with
And that was as of August of last year.
August of last year. All right. Crap, what was that country called? That
But as of November of 2009, so 10 years previous, his net worth was $30,000. So he has made almost all of that $9 million in the last 10 years.
almost as if he made some sort of deals with a bank in a
Yeah.
country that's closely associated with
Which
Russia.
is interesting because wasn't that, right around when, something happened back around, he was in office
He was
at that time, wasn't he?
vice president of the United States. I mean, that technically is a pay raise from being, was he senator before?
Right.
It's technically a little pay raise. And that pay raise is the same as it's about the same pay raise one would get when they're colluding with Ukraine, right? Give or take.
Shadow banning, here we come.
Bring it on. Next on the list,
Facebook jail.
I've only got I've only got 7 people on this list. So.
Oh, only 7. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we might want to hurry it up a bit.
Okay. Chuck Schumer.
Ooh, Chuck Schumer.
He's got a solid 45 years of service.
Well, he also has a solid $1.5 million in net worth.
Good for him. Next on that list is... Oh, I mixed them up. Maxine Waters.
Oh, Maxine Waters.
Good old Maxine. She's got 47, so I mixed up the two.
Okay.
47 years of service.
She also has a solid $1.5 million in net worth.
Neat. Our favorite, Nancy Pelosi, has 33 years of government service.
Guess what her net worth is? Just take a stab in the dark.
At least $2.
I guess. As a minimum, that is a decent guess.
Let's go 10 mil.
That's your final answer?
12 mil.
Is that your final answer?
100 mil.
Is that your final answer?
150 mil.
No, now you're high. But barely.
Only
so,
just.
So the highest we've seen up till now is Feinstein. Frankenstein, whatever.
Diane Frankenstein.
Whose net worth was $80 million.
Uh-huh.
And she's been a politician for 60 years. 60 years. There you go.
Yeah.
So, and Nancy's been a politician for half that time.
Just over half, yeah.
Just over half that time. And her net worth, you ready? $120 million.
That's all.
That's all.
That's all. Well, she's been Speaker of the House a couple of times, and that's a little pay raise from just being a normal congresswoman.
It's not that much of a pay raise.
And to be fair, there are Republicans that have also been in there a lot longer than they should.
Oh, I'm sure there are. And I'm sure most of them have a higher net worth than we would probably think they should, too.
My point behind all this, the last one on the list, Donald Trump. He has been in government service for 3 years.
Huh.
His net worth, at least as far as they can tell, because he won't release his taxes.
About $2.1 billion.
And all of that was made in the 3 years that he was president.
No, because he donated his presidential salary every time.
Right, but
He
because he's president, he's got
no.
three.
That's, well,
Since,
three years, but
3 years. Yeah, so in
Yeah.
3 years he made 3.1 billion.
no, because he didn't make anything off of being president.
Right, but he because he's president, he has 3.1.
No, also no.
Oh. Yeah, so Donald Trump is so far of that list of 7, the only person that can actually claim he is a government.
You want to know what his net worth
Government
was
service.
in 2016?
Yes, before he
Before he became president,
uh-huh.
was $6 billion.
Right, so he
He lost $3 billion in the last 3 years as president of the United States.
Well, that's not possible because he's president.
Yes, but he is no longer actually working in his companies, so he's not making that money, and he's also not making money from being president because he's,
Right, so he's
donating.
So he's
all of
worth
his
more now than he
money.
was.
No, he's worth less, like half as much actually.
But he's president.
Yes, he is. Indeed.
So yeah, Donald Trump is the only one of that group that can legitimately say he is a public servant. He is a service in the government.
Well, actually, he might have lost more than that. As of April, Forbes puts his net worth at around $2 billion.
Huh.
So
It's all them Big Macs he's been buying for the sports teams that won't support him anymore.
it's got to be it.
But I bring all of this up because part of the protesting stuff is nothing's being done, nothing's changing, nothing's being done. Look at your dang politicians, the ones who are responsible for actually doing the changes in the law, in policy, in law enforcement. How long have they been there Or like we were talking earlier with Cameron, how long has that ideology been there and nothing's changed in the positive?
Begin to wonder if it might not be the lack of reform, but maybe the ideology behind the reforms that have been made. Maybe,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Somehow, all of this race stuff, all of this police stuff is Donald Trump's fault now. He's been in public service for 3
years.
long years.
Well, technically, this year has been short.
This has been the longest of the years.
It's also year 4.
I thought last year was long.
If only we could go back to last year. I would,
Gosh, you missed 2019 like you missed your dad.
I do. He died a long time ago.
Oof, bad joke.
It's not a joke.
On my end.
Dark humor. Yes.
So somehow
Love the dark humor.
it's fascinating how well the left has gone. I'm not even going to say Democrats because it's not just Democrats.
No, I know many Democrats that are very reasonable people.
Yep. And I know many Republicans. Romney. That's unbearable.
I don't know his name. I don't want to know his name.
Exactly. We need to make that a shirt with some
just an image, a silhouette of him.
I don't know.
Don't know his name.
I
Don't want to know his name.
And I don't care.
I don't know his name. I don't care. My wife's getting a vinyl cutter. I can make it happen.
I have connections as well. But yeah,
Man.
the left, the progressive side, is super good at deflecting blame. How many times in Nancy Pelosi's 33 years of government service, most of that was in Congress, how many times did she sit there with a majority in both president and in Congress and didn't do anything to change all of this systemic racism that's been plaguing our nation for years? And then Donald Trump comes into office and, hey, it's his fault because he's president right now while we're deciding to protest everything. And it's crap like that that makes me... It's crap like that that makes myself and others, like I said last week, go to his stupid side while he's on the little Twitters trolling along and defend his stupid actions.
Our troll in chief.
Our troll in chief. Yeah. All of the stuff they're doing is pushing us to him.
There's another
I hate
shirt
it.
we need to make. We need to make a picture, like a picture of a troll with his toupee on it.
A little
Troll
phone
in
in his
chief.
hand.
A little phone in his hand
little
with a little
Twitter
Twitter
thing.
icon on it. Troll in chief.
I like it. Merch coming your way.
Someday we'll be good enough to have merchandise.
Someday.
Maybe we can make mugs. we need an artist.
Need mugs. Just sit here and paint to the side.
Just sit here while we're podcasting and hand paint little. We don't want to do that. They would be
little
stick
mementos.
figures and it would look awful.
Because that's about what we would be able to
Because
afford.
this is about the amount of my skill in that level, that area.
Yeah, it's drives me crazy.
I'm not the skill. I'm the money. Shh. Go.
Oh, speaking of Nancy.
Oh, yes.
Speaking of Nancy, remember when
We've probably
she
got
was-
enough time to cover maybe one more thing. Is this what we want to end on?
Yes, because it hits me personally.
Yeah.
So
It's all of us personally.
yeah. Speaking of Nancy Pelosi, bless her heart.
We might want to switch out that battery real quick then.
Fine, we'll do a little break so Mike can walk over and change the battery. Blah,
I'm
blah,
sorry. I just know it's going to
blah.
die.
So important.
You know what? Be quiet.
All right. Nancy.
Yeah. We have until the camera falls down.
We have until the camera is our timer.
The camera is our timer as it continually slides.
Is slowly. I think it stopped.
I think it stopped. Okay, continue. Nancy.
You finally made it. Good job.
I am the Master Commander.
It's Nancy Pelosi. I don't know if you remember.
I remember.
I guess that was her words from what I'm talking about. I don't know if you remember when Donald Trump did that atrocious sin of doing a photo op with the Bible in front of a burned down church.
Oh, yeah, right. And then
And
the Democrats did the same kind of thing with
a shawl
with the
from
Ghana
a tribe
shawl.
that potentially represented a tribe that enslaved other Africans.
Oh, right. Yes, that was a thing.
Yeah.
And the Lich Thrall was unable to stand up. I remember we
Yeah.
talked about this once.
And then she quoted scripture.
Right. Still don't know how
Yeah,
she holds
that
the
one.
Bible. Anyway,
that Nancy,
continuing
who
on.
did all that, she decided it'd be a good idea to give a flag to George Floyd's family, which is fine and all.
Oh, yeah.
Because so this is why it hits me personally.
Everyone should have a flag.
Everyone should have a flag. So one of the cool things that a lot of people don't know about is you can contact your senator or your representative in Congress and ask them if the flag flying over the Capitol that day can be done for a special reason. And for the most part, they'll respect that request and get it done. And then once the flag is done for the day, they send it back to you to have, and it comes a little certificate that says this flew on this day in remembrance of whatever, and any other little special note you want to put with it. And it comes in a box, and it's folded as if it was packaged in the box. And U.S. flags, when they're produced, shipped, packaged, all that stuff for just shipping around, they're just folded into a square. And then after that is when they start getting folded into triangles, with the stars being the only thing you see. And this story that I'm about to delve into hits me personally because my wife and I, our second child died shortly after childbirth, Chloe, and is naturally, of course, really traumatic for us, all this stuff. But our friends, Cameron being one of them that we talked to today, was able to contact our senator. Even though Cameron lived in Seattle at the time, he contacted our senator, Senator Lee, and asked if the flag could be flown for Chloe over the Capitol. And that request was accepted, and we got the flag. Our friends gave us the flag, and it had a nice little quote on there and things like that. It was super nice. And then my wife and I took that flag out of the box and got ourselves a nice little triangle flag holder, folded up the flag all nice and put it in there, and that's where it sits now, for us to not only remember Chloe, but more importantly to remember that our friends care about us. Super cool thing. And that's essentially what Nancy Pelosi did with George Floyd's family. She gifted them the flag that was flown over the Capitol the day that George Floyd died. Which, so far, that part of the story, cool, do it. It's fine. Here's where I start getting angry, and the VA also gets angry. Just pull up the thing. There we go. So Nancy Pelosi gifted them the flag folded in triangle form, with plaque and frame and all that stuff. Something that is only done to members of servicemen who have died.
Well, at least they didn't drape the flag over his coffin before they buried him.
At least.
Because that's the other half of the ceremony.
Yeah, that's the other half.
The flag is put over their casket,
And she
and
tried...
then they pull it and fold it up.
And she's tried to defend it, her people, whatever. They're defending it of describing it the way that I did of, it's just the flag is something that's done, blah, blah, blah. The VA is even like, no, the way in which you gifted it is wrong. That's wrong. And what I love about this picture, too, is right here, you see her mask?
Oh, yeah, how it's down on her chin?
It needs a little lotion like her face does to help perk it back up over her nose.
Well, it's hard for a mask to maintain the amount of friction it needs to stay on a face when the nose is decaying.
That's right, because she died a while.
I'm absolutely convinced the woman is an undead monster that has come back to haunt us.
So, yeah, this is... my grandpa's been in the military. I got a cousin of mine that's been in the military. Other than that, at least directly close to me, not really a whole lot of military experience.
My father was in the military, and my brother-in-law is currently in the National Guard.
Yeah. So, at least in the military side of things, I'm not even mad at this for the military side of things, because I don't have a military experience to be like, my father, da, da. Unlike Mike, who does. I have that personal experience that I shared with you of our daughter and all that.
My dad didn't actually go to war. He just taught people how to shoot from really far away.
Why go to war when you can stay away from combat?
No, like he legit trained snipers. That's what I mean by he trained people to shoot from really far away.
Right.
Like,
sorry, I should correct that. Why go to battle when you can stay away from the battle?
right. That's a nice hill.
This is, I can see everything
I can see
from
everything.
here. Yeah, so I'm not mad at this at all because of the military side. I'm mad at it because of my side, which was her intention side, is what I'm mad at. Because the intention was good. And then she ruined it.
Which seems to be a common theme for
and again,
most of the things she does.
It's a freaking photo op. But
yeah, but they didn't tear gas anybody to get there. That's
heaven forbid Donald Trump stand in front of a church that was just burnt down with a Bible in Trump fashion saying, we're going to get through this. Heaven forbid he do that. But, when's the next opportunity I can pander to some minority group?
Well,
is this lady's thinking, at least.
Oh, I thought you were legit asking me a question.
When's the next opportunity?
Group and,
let's make sure we got some
record again
there.
Next week, so you can you try to kiss somebody's ass.
If I can just get some unrecognized minority group here, just stand here.
Well,
yeah. So that's fun. That's
right.
The hypocrisy. That's probably about the only thing. Well,
that was the other thing I thought was funny about Artemis Fowl was there's two black people and there's three black people in the whole movie. One of them's a horse. The other two are butlers.
Oof.
I mean, I might have been the only person that would look at that and go, was that an underhanded jab or did they do that on purpose? Especially since one of them is race swapped. Like,
which one?
The butler.
Okay. Either way, it's not good.
I mean, the horse, he's a centaur, so he could. I have no idea what color he was in the books. I don't remember, but the other guy is very, very clearly described as white with brown hair and dark blue, almost black eyes.
So, brown body, white hair.
That is exactly how they did it. He is
I haven't
he
even
is
seen
legit.
it. I haven't even seen
He is
this.
black with bright white hair and no joke, neon blue eyes. like glow in the dark blue eyes.
Nailed it. It's clockwork.
But
like clockwork.
right?
You can predict this crap.
I'm like, of all the people that you could race swap, you decide to race swap the one that is a manservant and his name is Butler.
And you exactly race up him. Everything about him, you just do the opposite.
I don't know. I mean, like of all the things, there's numerous characters that you easily could have done literally whatever you wanted with, and you go for the one that I can make fun of for being racist. That's how do you, like it's like playing softball with you guys. It's not even hard to come up with the jokes anymore.
It's not even it's slow pitch softball.
It's slow pitch.
Big green ball flying at you. Just oh, speaking of slow pitch softball. Exactly. I believe it was Monday, Tuesday last week, something. Mm-hmm. I posted on the Book of Faces.
Oh. These are always good stories.
Something to the effect of, so coronavirus just kind of disappeared from front page news. Mm-hmm. I mean, kind of understandably, there's cities on fire and all that stuff. Fine.
Okay.
But then
right.
cities stopped being on fire, and it's a couple weeks later, it's coronavirus still isn't on headline news. You can find the stories, see the stories, but it's not.
Well,
it's not what they're talking about.
You heard the latest development with that this morning, didn't you?
I think I did. Hold on.
Okay, we're getting there.
But I posted something to the effect of, so does coronavirus not matter anymore, or are we waiting until Donald Trump is starting his in-person campaigns to worry about that? And then, a few days later, I want to make sure, NBC News tweeted out.
This is NBC, so you know it's credible.
Yes. They tweeted out 2 stories within 2 hours. The first story they tweeted out, Rally for Black Trans Lives draws packed crowd to Brooklyn Museum Plaza. Picture of it, it's people shoulder to shoulder all the way back to the buildings.
Thousands of them.
Lots of people.
Right.
2 hours later, President Trump plans to rally his supporters next Saturday for the first time since most of the country was shuttered by the coronavirus, but health experts are questioning that decision. Slow pitch.
You know,
it's not even slow pitch
like,
softball. It's
T-ball. We're playing T-ball.
It's not even that. It's kickball, playground kickball, but you get to tell the pitcher what kind of ball they're going to roll at you. Say, give me the water balloon. So there's a big ball bouncing towards you. Say, no, it's just a little bounce. And so you're telling the pitcher, hey, just roll that thing slow as you can. I'm going to boot it out of the park. That's what it's playing right now.
Right. Well, and they post all this stuff like that, and then like the health experts are like, oh yeah, it's okay, go protest, but you better not open your store.
Oh, De Blasio?
Ha! De Blasio.
Yeah. Make sure you report businesses that are open that aren't supposed to be open. A couple hours later, gives speech to crowd about how great it is. Right. They're out protesting.
He's also the one. Oh, there's just so much gold we can dig out of that mountain. He is also the one that has restricted the So when people go in and get tested for COVID, they're asked a series of questions.
Yes. Yeah.
Like where you been, who you been with, blah, 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 right? He has told them that they cannot ask.
No.
No. Yes?
No.
Cannot ask whether or not they were at
No.
a BLM protest.
Hey, you're not supposed to ask that.
You can't ask that.
Don't.
If they volunteer the information, that's fine.
But don't.
But you're not allowed to ask specifically if they were at a BLM protest. You should ask specifically if they were at a Trump rally, but you cannot ask specifically if they were at a BLM protest.
If we could get everyone to download this app, it'll help us with contact tracing and be able to understand the movement of this virus.
Yeah, that's what it is, the contact tracing thing. That's yeah.
So where do you think you contract this? Well, I was at a BLM. Where do you think you contracted this?
Who were you with? Why were you there?
And why do you support Donald Trump?
Unless it was at a BLM. Like, really? You can't. Like, what? The hypocrisy is tangible. It's.
And
like,
still.
You can cut it with a knife. It is.
You could cut it with a chainsaw.
I mean, you can cut most things with a chainsaw. It's more impressive when it's a butter knife because, dull.
Yeah.
Effort.
Yeah, true. True. You might as well use a spoon then. If we're going that route,
I can cut people with a
spoon.
chainsaw. I can't cut people with a butter knife usually.
Usually. It takes a little effort.
Takes a little effort. God.
Yeah. And I was about to say earlier, like, the only thing I like about this is it's showing the hypocrisy. But more
the thing
so,
I don't like about it is that it seems like nobody cares about the hypocrisy.
More so, I think it's showing everyone's ignorance.
Right?
Ignorant. They're.
I literally had a friend post the other day, and he's like, he did this post that was essentially like, if you plan on voting for Trump, F you type of thing, right?
Right.
And he got lit up by like everybody.
Yeah.
And so then he posted, he's like, if you're going to vote for Trump, tell me why. And then like him and a couple of his buddies just like went in there and
right.
tore everybody.
Typical,
so I refused
Facebook.
I refused to post on it because
argument.
I was like, the reasons I will vote for Trump are ones that you obviously can't wrap your head around, so I'm not even going to try. But I was just like watching them, and it's intense,
right?
Like this it's like
you can
watching
feel the anger in the keystrokes.
It's like watching a wolf pack go after an injured calf. Like there is you can see the violence coming, and you know it's going to be there, but it's still shocking when you actually witness it.
You grab some popcorn and just try to.
It's just like, ooh, ouch, like, yeah, I don't know anymore, man.
That kind of goes back to what I said earlier. Why are you voting for Trump? Because I have to. You don't have to vote for him. No, you're just. I have to.
You just don't. You don't understand. It's.
Well, he did this, and this. He didn't. No, he did. No, he said this, and this. No, what he meant was, no, what he said.
I don't even care about what he said. Look at what he did.
It's like, why do you support him so much? I don't.
That's the problem.
So why are you voting for him? Because I have to. So you're making us make irrational arguments.
Right. Like, what's the best thing about Trump? Oh, I don't know. His tweets?
His tweets against the media are gold.
How enraged you are that he exists?
The control he has over the news feed. He doesn't have control over the news feed.
Right.
Kofefi. That's all you need for an example of that.
Okay, honestly though, like if you really break it down, brass tacks, why are you voting for Trump?
And see, even right now, I'm not sure that I actually am going to vote for him.
Right.
But if I were, so to be honest, my bar for him was about below the desk.
I didn't vote for him the first time.
Right. My
all.
bar was way down low. I didn't vote for him because of that, because he was way down there. Then he became president, and as everyone should with any president,
Watched what happened.
watch what happens. Let their actions tell you who they really are. Just like with any person, let their actions tell you who they actually are, not who they vote for, or their color of their skin, or anything like that. Let their content of their character do that. Where have I heard that before?
Huh.
Anyway, still going into it, it was like, okay, fine. He's done terrible stuff. I hate what he's done before. I'm very questionable about his Democratic past. I'm very questionable about the people who he's friends with and in cahoots with.
I have very many questions about his personality.
Yeah, and what the heck?
Whether or
is
not
on
he's
top of
actually
his head?
stable. What drugs it is he's taking?
Like-
Because wow,
I don't drink. You don't? You sure?
because that would make so much more sense.
That's all I had. That's all I had.
That was my only fallback on that.
So yeah, I had
Oh gosh,
almost zero expectations for him going into this.
I had negative expectations.
Yeah. And he's been pleasantly surprising over all this. The economy did well under him. Well, that's Obama that did that.
No,
Fine,
it's
argue it all you want. I say otherwise, but argue it all you want. Because while Obama was president, it wasn't his fault. It was Bush's fault. And while Bush was president, it wasn't his fault. It was
Clinton's
fault. And while Clinton was president, so on and so forth. And surprisingly, once the economy tanked, it was no longer Obama's economy.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No. Now it's Trump's fault.
Although through all 8 years of Obama, it was. Anyway.
Anyway,
The economy did surprisingly well under him. Unemployment rates historically low. That's about where I keep in mind, anyways, of things I like. Oh, I thought his handling of the stupid Ronas was actually pretty well on the federal level. He basically said,
states
do your thing, which is what the recommendations were from the stupid little scientific thing was.
The Fauci. That Fauci endorsed and thought was really great. And excuse me while I never clear my throat while I talk.
I'm sorry. I've been smoking 13 packs a day, and I just have to tell you
But I
about
am an
health.
expert in health.
It's not because he's smart. No.
Anyway,
So I thought his handling on that on the federal level was fantastic, though it's still his fault that all these states were crumbling while governors were sitting on their hands.
seizing control. I mean, yeah, sitting on their hands.
So yeah. And then I have to defend him every stupid step of the way.
Right.
For example, if Democrats want to beat Donald Trump, they need a time machine, go back in time 3 years, stop all the stupid stuff against him, and Republicans will split their vote in 2020. I can almost guarantee that. Republicans would have split their vote this year if the Democrats hadn't done what they did for the last 3.5, 4 years. Because Kavanaugh, for example, he comes onto the stage. He doesn't really have the greatest conservative record to follow. He doesn't really have a whole lot of record to follow to begin with to make a decision off of. And even conservative talk show hosts that I listened to kind of questioned the decision of having Kavanaugh as a Supreme Court justice. Like, I don't know, that's really a good conservative pick or whatever. Then, out of beyond left field, Blasey Ford comes in.
There is no better way to get someone to rally than to make war with them.
Seriously. 'Cause almost overnight, all those conservative talk show hosts flipped. They're like, no, he didn't. What? There's no evidence of that. So, no, she said. Okay, yes, she said, but what's her evidence? Well, she said this, and this, and this. Okay, well, his strange documented record from his childhood says no.
His 5th grade calendar states that he's never met her.
And all of these witnesses say, no, he wasn't at the party in question. No, she wasn't there. No,
she didn't even know him. No, we never hung out with him together. What?
Even her own witnesses did not corroborate her story or back her up.
Right.
They corroborated that, yeah, I think something happened to her, but this didn't happen.
Right.
And so all of a sudden, and I think that's, for me anyways, when I noticed the main switch with conservatives, because they were still, you had the Cruz camp and all them. Oh, you had the Cruz camp and all them that that didn't like Trump, and also in turn didn't really like Cruz anymore.
Right.
Kind of. He sold out to Trump. But you had that camp basically switch to Trump almost overnight because of it. And Donald Trump gained this incredible support. And from then on, it's just been, well, did you know he was colluding with Russia? What? Yeah, it's because of Russia that he won. Can you not just accept that you lost?
Unfounded accusation after unfounded accusation after fabricated evidence.
For real. So
seriously.
So now here I am staring down the barrel of the elections. Yes, they are just a couple months away, if you didn't know. A few months away.
They'll be here faster than you think.
And I find myself liking Trump, but I don't like Trump.
Right.
I still don't. Yes, he's way exceeded my expectations, but I'd rather not have him there. But who do I pick instead?
Joe Jorgensen.
Joe Jorgensen. He's got a solid chance at...
That's a woman.
She has a solid chance. They have a solid chance.
My point exactly.
Actually, she is solid as far as her political alignment goes. She's the Libertarian Party nominee, by the way. Her VP, on the other hand, a little insane.
And that's something...
It's okay. This is what I love about the Libertarian Party.
The Libertarian Party is so close every time.
They complain so much every time about how, you're wasting your vote, whatever. No, we're not wasting our votes. We're voting our conscience. Okay, so sure, but you're wasting your vote because literally nobody else is going to vote for the crazy people that you guys try to put in. Like
the last election was their chance.
When you have, I know, right? when you have somebody in your primaries that you are considering as a presidential candidate whose name is Vermin Supreme, no one can take you seriously.
Check that box as hard as you can.
Literally, nobody on this planet will take you seriously.
Vice President Vermin Supreme.
No. That wasn't even that wasn't
President
even their vice president. That was one of the people on their ballot on their primary for, well, not primary, but the way the libertarians do it anyway. He was one of the ones in the running for president.
He wasn't the boot guy, was he?
Yes. That's the boot guy. That's the boot guy.
My hat is a boot. Your argument is invalid.
My hat is a boot. Your argument is invalid. Exactly. That is the guy. That is Vermin Supreme.
Yeah. That don't get you votes.
Yeah, right?
That don't get you votes.
And, I mean, don't get me wrong. I have voted Libertarian in almost every election in my state because I love the Libertarian point of view, and we've actually had some really good Libertarian candidates run here.
Yes.
But on the national scale, when you do crap like that, no one will take you seriously. And it's the saddest thing.
I know.
Because their politics are actually, like, really spot on.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but that's the other problem with libertarians is you'll never find two libertarians that agree with each other.
Nope. Never. Never.
I find more Republicans and Democrats that agree with each other than libertarians in their own party agree with each other.
Well, that was part of the problem with Jefferson because he was more on the libertarian line.
Right. Exactly.
At least if you look at the politics of libertarian, he was on the libertarian line.
Yeah.
But
well,
others
the funniest thing is
others that subscribed to his creed didn't agree with him.
Right. Well, that's my thing is I actually, like, of all of the parties out there, like, I identify as independent, but of all the parties out there, I agree most with the Libertarian Party's points of view.
Mm-hmm.
However, like I said,
You don't want to vote for Vermin Supreme?
I can't.
You can't check that box?
I can't check that box. No one will take
Ever.
that seriously, like, ever. You know, if you want to be a actual contender, you need people that have legitimate arguments, that have legitimate causes, and that are legitimately presentable.
So
You know?
I shouldn't wear a boot as a hat if I run for
Shouldn't
president.
wear a boot. I mean, I'm going to be 100% honest here. The closest thing that we will ever have to a libertarian candidate running and actually winning is Donald Trump. Not because of his actual policies being libertarian, but because of the fact that he is a circus.
As the Libertarian Party is. I made the connection. I got it.
We offended everybody else last week. Libertarians, it's your turn.
It's your turn.
Love you guys. I really do.
Yeah, because last election they had,
Gary
Gary Stevenson?
Johnson.
Mm-hmm. And at first I was like, okay, well, he seems presentable. He might work. And then he kept talking. It's not going to work.
Well, that's the thing I think is funny is about the Libertarian Party, too, is they're like, oh, we have this nominee. He's not a libertarian.
He's not a real libertarian.
He's not a real libertarian.
What is real? Do you have a platform? What?
Oh, and I am remiss. I missed two politicians that I actually am semi-okay with most of the time last week, and that is Rand Paul and... I spaced his name again. Damn it.
Ron Paul? Though
Yeah,
he's not
well,
a
of course,
politician
Ron
anymore.
Paul, too. He's not a politician anymore, though. But the one that tried to get Congress to actually do their damn job and sit in...
Scott?
No. A couple months ago when they were trying to do the call-in or whatever voting, and he... oh, gosh, I know his name. What is it? Is it Meacham? Is that his name? No, that's not his name. What's his name?
His name is Massey.
Massey. Yes, I knew it started with an M. That's the one. I have respect for him specifically because of that event.
From Kentucky.
Mm-hmm. Trying to get Congress to actually do their damn jobs.
This article from Politico. Both parties pile on Massey after effort to force recorded vote. Flops.
Yep, that is the one.
How dare you get us to be on the record so our constituents will know whether or not we voted the way they ask us to vote?
Right?
How dare you?
How dare you try to get me to do my job?
And how dare Rand Paul suggest that Congress make laws that are only 1 or 2 pages long because the entire U.S. government was formed on 1 or 2 pages. So a law should be able to fit on 1 or 2 pages. How dare you, sir? Was he the one that also tried term limits once or twice or 5 times?
Probably. That sounds like something he would do. Like,
Throwback to the earlier.
seriously, though.
So, yeah.
Why do we end on the bad news?
I mean, we were laughing.
We were laughing.
We were
but
laughing.
we laughed to keep from crying. That's
it hurts so bad you
different.
laugh.
It's a bit different.
Yeah.
I mean, see,
Studio audience saves us again. Yeah, we got a whole lot more we could do, but
we're already like way over time. We're pushing up on 2 hours now.
yeah. And apparently people don't like it when we go long because you can't hit pause and listen to it later.
Right. Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to sit down and watch YouTube videos for 2 hours.
I don't.
I mean, I've never done that.
I've never sat and
Never
watched YouTube
once
videos for
done
2
that.
hours. I've never laid in my bed and scrolled through things. For
I've
2
never
hours.
put a YouTube video on and like just laid it down, and then when I hear something that sounds like it might be interesting to watch, grab it and look at it.
Never.
Never done that. It's not a thing.
Anyways, thanks for
Anyway.
listening and watching and all that.
We appreciate the support. Hit us with a like or a comment, and
Share,
tell us what you guys want to hear. Share your thoughts.
and we'll ignore them. We won't, but we will.
We won't, but we will. If they're negative, we'll ignore them.
Maybe. Depends on the negative.
Depends on if they're constructive or not.
Yes. Maybe. We'll decide.
Yeah.
We'll set it to a committee.
Troll in the dungeon! Thought you'd want to know.
Cool. Bye.
Bye-bye.